Today I'm going to talk to you all about this product, Sculptamold. Amazing stuff. I'm going to start off with this foam. I'm just going to essentially create a form that I can build this Sculptamold up onto. Nothing too special, just some foam stacked up. This is so I don't have to use all the product. I can just layer it onto the foam. Okay, the mix on this is about 2 parts Sculptamold to 1 part water, though I like it a little more wet than that. And this is the consistency that you're gonna get here. Just start slapping this stuff on. Creativity is messy, so just get into it and don't be afraid. Form this into basically my hill shape that I want. For this piece, I've gone with 2 cups of the Sculptamold and about a cup and almost a cup and a half of water in the mix. This is great for making terrain, for making organic shapes. It is going to dry very quickly and very solidly. Don't be afraid of the mess. Embrace the mess. The mess is your friend. Art is dirty. If you're making clean art, well, I don't know what to tell you. Sounds boring to me. And I have just I'm essentially covering my form with the Sculptamold here. I'm going to smooth it out a bit, press it down. This stuff is great for all kinds of projects. It's totally non-toxic. It's just modeling compound and basically paper fiber, I think, and good for kids. Make a mess, build all kinds of stuff out of this. Stuff don't need gloves unless you're uptight about having messy fingers. But as I said, you know, maybe that's just some work you do on yourself. This stuff does dry pretty quick. I also want to add some rock shapes to my little scene here. I'm just going to take I use the bark for the rock. I'm just going to take the bark and press it down into the Sculptamold. If you've not seen my video on using tree bark for rock, then go back to my rock series and you'll see how I use tree bark to create stone effects. You just wet your finger and you can just go in and start to smooth this out. We have that. Looks like a mess, I know. You wait. Next, I'm going to go in and glue in some of these rocks. I get this big bag. This is from the dollar store, and I'm just using some tacky glue. And I'm just going to start sticking some of these stones in to different places to just build up some texture. Help fill in some of the gaps where there's space between the bark and the Sculptamold. You don't have to do this. Next, I'll go with some play sand. I'm just going to throw some grit into different places. I like to lay down a little parchment paper. It just makes cleanup a lot easier. In between all those places, I just glued the rocks. I like to fill in the cracks with the sand. That sand kind of fills in all those little spaces between the rocks. This will all get painted and flocked. All right, we'll let that sit for a little while and come back. All right, I went and folded a load of laundry, and this is all dry enough to paint now, so I'm going to base coat everything. All right, that all needs to sit and dry and probably overnight. So we'll come back for part 2 tomorrow. We'll flock it, we'll paint it and flock it and see what happens.